Now listen, let me say this real quick. I find it so fascinating that people highlight the divorce rate and they use the divorce rate to validate not entertaining marriage or how to downplay marriage or their reasons for not wanting it in their life. But the breakup rate is probably astronomical if we could actually measure it, all right? So many people are getting in and getting out of relationships, and so many people are suffering and experiencing the bulk of the damage in these relationships. So by the time they even get to a potential marriage partner, if that's what you want in your life, you've gone through so much, you don't know how to deal with the good thing when it's in front of your face. But I digress. We're not going to get into that right now. What we're going to focus on is why. Why are these relationships failing? What are we doing wrong? What approach are we taking that is working against us? All right. So let's get to it. Number one reason, no particular order, just starting off with number one. First reason why relationships fail, a lack of emotional maturity. So here's the thing, or here's the problem. So many people have not learned how to manage their emotions. So many people are reactive rather than thinking, praying, processing before taking any action on what they're feeling, all right? And this creates so many toxic situations. This creates situations where people say things they regret. This creates people taking actions that come back to haunt them. So much goes wrong because people do not learn how to manage their emotions. And we're not really being taught that. Unfortunately, it's almost like you're supposed to freestyle in life and figure it out. And unfortunately, you're probably surrounded by other individuals who lack emotional maturity, so you don't even know what a good, healthy level of maturity looks like emotionally. You're sitting here thinking that your dysfunctional ways of handling things, no offense, just keeping it real, but your dysfunctional ways of handling things are normal, are par for the course. This is the way it is. But the reality is that this is why so many relationships fail. This is why over 80% of relationships are failing, because that lack of emotional maturity. You've got to learn to pray before you react. You've got to learn to think before you react. You've got to learn how to understand that what you're feeling in that moment, all right, can pass. And it may not truly depict what's actually going on. Yes, sometimes when we're talking about intuition, granted, you know I'm a big believer in intuition and I would never want you to ignore it. But even in listening to your intuition, well, actually, no. If your intuition's hitting you, just listen. I don't want to make any excuses for that or give you any alternative route in there. If it's intuition, that's one thing. But when it's your mind, when it's what you're seeing, when it's what you think you're hearing, it's not really a spiritual thing occurring within you. It's not what you're sensing. It's just what you're processing in that moment very quick, not properly processing, just quickly emotionally processing and then reacting. That's a problem. That has to change. And again, if we would just learn to take a step back and not be so quick to react, so many relationships can be saved. So many people will not see relationship go left. And sometimes what we don't realize is, even if you think you've escaped the moment of your reaction, possibly destroying your relationship, what you don't realize is you've planted the seed. You've created a crack in this relationship to where now your partner is more on edge. Now your partner is looking at you differently. Now your partner is hesitant to be more open with you. Whatever the case may be, all because of the way that you reacted in that moment, and then we struggle to get past that. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. A man has to learn how to stand on his own 2 feet. He can honor his mother and respect her, but she has to understand there is a boundary. She is not the dictator of this relationship. She does not get to, how do I say this, interfere